Welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Challenger Scorpion. Bryan Morrow has returned with his Night Lords, a different list this time, new models being used, and they will take on the Blood Angels here, fighting across this Imperial compound here. Industrial terrain being used, scrub and jungle. It has been bombed out here. You can see the craters of where some kind of bombardment has taken place, but Night Lords are in the area, and Blood Angels have been sent in to flush them out. Right, so 2,000 points of Blood Angels here. It's not the final list, but a number of units and models here will make it into the final list I'm working on for them at the moment. So I'm running a double Vanguard detachment here in the Army's Battle Forge. That's 5 command points in total for them. So the Warlord of the force is the Sanguinius, just there. He has Heroic Bearing Warlord trait for him. That's a fixed Warlord trait. And then that's Auto Morale pass for units within 6 inches of him. Then there is a Sanguinary Priest with Blood Chalice and Narfecium for him. And then third HQ is the Chaplain, standard Space Marine Chaplain just there. And then on to elites. There's 6 elites to make up those 2 detachments. The first is Sanguinary Guard. There's 8 of them here. Used to take 5, but expanded the unit out to a size of 8. Most of them armed with the Encarmine swords, 2 of them armed with axes, and then 2 of them have the Infernos pistols as well. Then Death Company, haven't seen these in the battle report for a couple of years now, so it's good to see them back. 2 of them armed with chainswords and bolt pistols, 1 with a bolter, 2 with power swords and bolt pistols, and then 1 armed with a thunder hammer as well. Then heavy support, 1 Predator Annihilator with twin laser cannon and 2 laser cannons, and also Hunter Killer Missile on him as well. And then a Bow Predator, 2 heavy bolters, twin assault cannon, storm bolter, and Hunter Killer Missile on him also. 2 more elites, 2 units of 5 Stern Guard veterans, no upgrades for them at all. And then another elite here, it's the Thunderhammer Terminators, all armed with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Furioso Dreadnought, the Furioso Fist, Frag Cannon, Magna Grapples, and Melter Gun for him. And then finally 1 fly, it's a Storm Raven gunship with twin las cannon, twin multi-melter, and the rockets as well. So a number of units making it into the final list. Sanguinius, these, the Predators, other units having to stand in and fill the gaps whilst the new units are being painted up. But a real test here for the Blood Angels. We are using their new codex, chapter approved as well, so fully up to date with them. But it will be a test as they take on one of their old foes here, the Night Lords. We'll take a look and see what Bryan has next in his army. Right, so Bryan Morrow has returned. It's been a while, but he's been busy painting up new units and a brand new list here for the Night Lords, some new models, new combinations, and he'll be using the new Chaos Space Marine Codex as well, so we'll see what he has.
Okay, so this is my 2000 Night Lords list, 2000 points. It's a work in progress. It's made up of 3 detachments. Firstly, we have a Spearhead detachment. It's 3 Predators, 1 Annihilator, and 2 with auto cannons and laser cannons. And the Sergeant just has, the Chaos Lord just has a chainsword and bolt pistol. We then have a Outrider detachment. It's made up of 3 Spawn, 5 bikes. The bikes are equipped with chainswords, melta guns, and the sergeant has a power axe. We then have a unit of raptors. They're bolt pistols and chainswords, and the sergeant has a plasma pistol, and there's a flamer in the unit. And the Chaos Lord is a jump pack lord with the claws of the Black Hunt. And then we have a battalion detachment. Battalion detachment's made up of 3 units of 10 cultists, 5 terminators with power axes and combi meltas, 3 obliterators with a Marcus Slanish, a Chaos Lord in Terminator armour with a chain fist and a combi melta, and a Terminator sorcerer with a force sword and a combi boulder. I'm going to take the Terminator Lord with a chain fist and combi melta as the Chaos Lord, and I've given him Unholy Fortitude, and the Chaos Sorcerer has Death Hex and Prescience.
Yes, there it is. Brian's just mentioned it's 8 command points in total there, so nice lot of command points to use. 5 for the Blood Angels. Just to mention, so the relic is on.
The jump pack.
Right. Okay. Oh, right. That's the weapon. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then so the relic here for the Blood Angels is on the Sanguinary Priest. It's Veritas Vitae. If we use a stratagem, then on a 5+ roll, we get it 1 command point back, just to try and help the Blood Angels out, who are a bit short on command points here in this list. But there it is. That's the 2 forces that face each other here. Now, I was talking to Brian about the Predators. They do get the equivalent of the Space Marine kill shot stratagem, that extra bonus that 3 Predators together receive. So that is a deadly combination. Working on a similar combination with the Blood Angels, but at the moment just 1 Bow Predator and 1 Predator Annihilator available, so we will not get kill shot here. I'll have to paint up the other models to gain access to that. But a fascinating combination here. Always a classic fight, this one. It's good to see Brian back. Blood Angels here. We will go on to scenario and deployment next. Right, just to mention the battle mat and terrain that we're using in this game. So this mat is by GameMat.eu. It's called Forgotten Realm. We've not used it in the game yet, and it fits in very nicely with our desert terrain of rocks and scrub. So it's 6x4, and then it's this mouse mat material, so it's rubber underneath, and then another material on top where they print the design. It's nice and soft, figure friendly, nice and quiet for dice rolling as well. And then we're also using this industrial terrain set by GameMat.eu as well. This resin terrain that they've produced, these here, these boxes, also the power plant here, these containers as well. It all comes as part of that set, and it really does help to fill out the table as well. So it's that terrain that we've used, and then the mat as well, and then my own terrain mixed in with some scrub, and it's created this battlefield here. But you can check them out. It's GameMat.eu. They produce these mats and terrain. So the scenario that we're going to play is No Mercy. It's kill point, so 1 point received per kill. There's 15 points to pick up against the Night Lords, and the Blood Angels, they have 12 units available, so slightly more, but it really is anyone's game, this one here. Hammer and Anvil deployment, Blood Angels at this end, 24 inches in, no man's land here in the middle, and then the Night Lords will be at this end here. Both sides got some pretty good cover to make use of here, some scrub and terrain, boxes and barrels, and industrial units here and containers, so some nice line of sight blocking terrain here to make use of in this game. Linebreaker is available, Slay the Warlord and First Blood points available to pick up as well. So that's the scenario. We're going to start alternating placing units on the board or putting units into reserve, so we'll start the actual deployment now. Right, so we're on deployment here. It has taken a while, both sides carefully placing the units on the board or into reserve. Both sides, plenty of reserves to call upon here. So I'll cover Blood Angels here because we've finished first, so our deployment's complete. So Storm Raven gunship right at the very back. This is one of the reasons why we chose Hammer and Anvil, just to try and stay out of range, just in case we lose the first turn, so that we can't be picked on. Las cannon range is 48. Yes, I think it is, which means that these would be out of range. This is the whole idea, is to try and keep the Storm Raven out of range, and it can move up later on. Then inside of the Storm Raven is the Dreadnought, the Terminators, the Chaplain, and then also the Sanguinary Priest as well. So they've all gone inside that transport. Then Predator Annihilator at the back here. Then further ahead is the Bow Predator, just sitting inside the crater here. And then trying to create some kind of compound here or a screen of protection. Unit of Stone Guard veterans just here. Another unit just inside the jungle. And then at the back here, protecting the flank on foot, is the Death Company. And then into reserve, deep striking down, will be the Sanguinary Guard. And then also the Sanguinor himself as well, the Warlord for the Blood Angels. It's a similar tactic, or army composition being used by the Night Lords as well. It's going to be a ground force here to hold position and defend, and then Bryan also has a heavy amount of reserves, more elite units that he can call upon to land anywhere he wants on the board. So that's the reserves there for the Blood Angels. Bryan has declared the Raptors and their jump pack leader there in reserve. There'll be deep striking along with the Terminators as well, and then also the Obliterators and the Sorcerer and the Terminator armor. They're all deep striking in as well. So left to deploy is one unit of these. They're still to go on, and the Bikers as well, and then that's Bryan's deployment finished. Okay, so deployment's done. The Bikers have gone here. They're on the right hand side, getting ready to move up on these nice cobbled streets. Then Chaos Spawn just here, hiding behind the industrial unit just there, and then using a screening force here and preventing or deploying these to try and stop the Blood Angels from deep striking in. So making use of these cultists here, one unit of 10 just there, another unit just here in the middle. Another unit's been sent out the front, Suicide Squad, there, that are facing off against the Bow Predator just up the road there. They're to try and protect the front of the Predators that have deployed just here, and then the Warlord, or the Lord, Chaos Lord, just there at the back. So there they are. They're quite a sight, and they're a deadly combination with that stratagem. To come up against it before against James using his Ultramarine Predators, and now the Chaos, they have the Chaos Forces have a similar stratagem to use, the kill shot, and I know full well how deadly that can be. If that continues on in the game, it will cause trouble for the Blood Angels. So that's deployment done. Bryan's reserves all declared, so we have finished. We'll go on to the first turn of the game. Blood Angels finished first. They'll get +1 on their roll, and then whoever goes first, there will be opportunity to seize the initiative. So after you, we'll be polite here with the Imperial Force today. Bryan rolls a 4. It's respectable enough. Oh dear, please. Come on. 5 becomes a 6. Well done, Blood Angels. I take it you'd wish to seize initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
So one dice, and no rerolls now. We're on chapter approved. Night Lords, the dice spins. It is a 4 again. Okay, so Blood Angels do get to go first. They get their wish to go first in this game. Right, so the scene is set. We will go on to turn 1. Blood Angels will make the initial strike. so we're on turn 1 here. Choices for the Blood Angels to make. Do we go all out with a full-on charge straight away? Do we play more of a war of attrition? Don't know whether it's, it's a difficult one here. I'm sure Brian's thinking the same thing as well. Does he fully commit or just make steady progress towards the Blood Angels or hold back? This game is going to... No holding back. Okay, that's what he said. And Blood Angels are going to be true to their traits, then they'll go straight for the jugular as well. So, number of units some distance apart. Remember these deep strikers to turn up here for both sides. So, the quietness here before the storm. Just really have no idea of this game, how it's going to develop. We'll see what moves the Blood Angels make here. Okay, so turn 1 movement complete here for the Blood Angels. We have gone aggressive with most of the units here, keeping our reserves off the board. The Sanguinor and the Sanguinary Guard have not turned up. We'll let the initial ground forces here try and make an impact, along with the Storm Raven as well. That's hurtled up the table 50 inches. So 50 inches would be to here, but we've just had to stop short of the distance because of the screen of the Chaos Cultist just there, but we're still nicely in range there. 50 inches, very, very quick up the table from the Storm Raven. So he's gone in. Remember, there's Dreadnought inside there, Thunderhammer Terminators, Sanguinary Priest, and the Chaplains. That's loaded up with units. So we're going to try and support it here. Bow Predator's gone 12 inches, putting itself within range of these units here. Predator Annihilator's gone on the move as well. We've put him behind, or partly obscured behind this container. Stone Guard Veterans, they have advanced 2 inches plus the normal move, moving into the crater. These have moved up here on this right hand flank. They are within their 30-inch range of the cultists just there. And the Death Company, we've held them where they are, just protecting this flank and nicely screened by those pipes just there. So Blood Angels making their advance on this right hand flank, rushing up the board straight towards the main objective, which is these Predators here. We need to break that formation, otherwise there will be trouble for the Blood Angels in the later turns. So a straightforward mission for them initially. Sanguinor holding off with his reserve until later on in the game. So no psychic phase, the Blood Angels. We'll go on to the shooting phase next, an important turn for them coming up next. Okay, so we're going to fire the Storm Raven. We're going to start off with this one. It all hangs on him. Pilot's going straight for the central Predator here, with the one with the 4 layers, or the 4 layers cannon shots. Yeah, the Annihilator. So we'll go after him. We are going to let loose with everything. We're just going to try and do a proper job here and get rid of at least one of these vehicles. So we'll start with the twin laser cannon. 2 shots. 3s. Power of the Machine Spirit. There's no minus for heavy, so we've missed with 1. We'll not re-roll. Brian. His head in his hands watching this. 3+ to wound. Yes, it does. It's -3. So Brian will get a save here of 6+. A 1. Okay. So that'll be D6 damage. We've rolled a 2. This is the problem. This is where we may not fulfill the mission. Okay, we're gonna. Oh dear, I use a command point or not. Oh dear. No, we'll leave it as it is. 2 wounds. Right, we'll go on to the melters now. I think this is where we may well use the rerolls here. So freeze to hit. This is important. These 2 shots come through. One of them misses. I'm going to use a command point, one of my precious command points here for the reroll. So 5+ to get it back, because it's a stratagem that we're using. So 5+ to get it back. No. So the Veritas Vitae doesn't help out. And then we are on the reroll now, which we do get the hit. So 2 hits have come through. So we're going to try and wound now. Strength 8, toughness 7. So freeze to wound. They do both wound. It's a 6 and a 3. It's -4. So this is 2d6 damage. No, we're rolling 2 dice and choosing the best. So the first one that comes through, we'll choose the 5. And then the second one, we'll choose the 6. That's it. That's Predator gone. We'll let Brian roll up. So never did get to fire the 2 rockets. Job done by the melter shots coming through. He's rolled a 1, so no detonation. He'll be happy about that. It's a nice clean kill here. First blood picked up and a kill point. Well done to the Storm Raven gunship pilot there, directing all of their weapons at 1 target. Okay, so that strike went well. It's going well for the Blood Angels so far. Now we've got a Predator in support, so that one's going to fire. It's got a clear line to this Predator just here. We have moves, so it's 4+. We'll fire all 4 of these together. Oh boy. Brian's happy enough. Freeze to wound. 1 wound does come through, it's -3. So a 6 up save, which fouls, and then it'll be D6 damage. It's very random. We've got an average score though of 3, so 3 wounds caused on this predator just here. There is a hunter killer on here as well. We'll fire that at the same target. That does get a hit. That's a 4 to hit. Freeze to wound. No, so that rocket's gone. It's 1 use only. So that's him finished. We'll then fire him. Hunter killer will go after the same target, the predator, and the rest of the shots will try and clear this screen here as much as we can. Now hang on, we'll hold here actually. We'll let because the tight angle with these, we'll let these fire first, try and pick off a few of these cultists, and then try and mop up with the predator after that. So freeze to hit with the stern guard, and then we'll be on freeze to wound. 2 wounds come through, and it's -2, so there'll be no armor save for them. They're gone. So that's done. Stern guard starting their work there of picking off models. So there's 8 left now. We'll see if the bow predator can finish them off. We'll fire the hunter killer first of all at the predator. It does get a hit. This is good Blood Angel shooting here. Freeze to wound. No, there's something. Someone's been tampering with the hunter killer missiles here. They're not causing their wounds to come through. We'll go. We can blame the Night Lords here for that. But we'll go on to this heavy bolt of fire, which will be 6 shots. And it's heavy, so it's 4s to hit. And then we'll be on 3s to wound. This is nothing. 2 1s and a 2, so not very good at all. There's Storm Bolter. Misses. And now Assault Cannon, looking for at least some kind of damage to come through here. So 4s, because we moved. 2s to wound, though. Yes, so, and then -1. So, yeah, no save. So that's 5 kills. Yeah, we'll give Brian cover here. The scrub and this just calls an obscurity. That's the way we're going to play cover here in this game. So we'll get +1. That means Brian will get a save here of 6+ on 5 dice. So maybe a chance to save one of them. Yeah. Okay, so it's 4 kills now in total. Okay, so shooting phase finished. There's no assaults here, and we finished with morale. Brian rolling up and losing a further 3 cultists there. It's just the sergeant left. So that squad's been decimated. Just the lone sergeant left alive just there. That is the end of the turn. So Blood Angels, very straightforward from them. They've swept up on this right-hand flank. Simple mission in mind, and that was to break this formation, which they have done. It's mission accomplished from them, particularly the Storm Raven doing well there, and then supporting fire coming in from these advancing Blood Angels units, clearing out the screen just ahead. So that is the first turn finished. Blood Angels very clear in their intentions here, and they've made their mark. But now we'll go on to the first turn here for the Night Lords. Plenty of reserves and heavy firepower to call upon for them. And remember, 2 Predators still in good working order here. They'll be able to let out some decent firepower as well. Brian can react to this initial Blood Angels strike. We'll go on to turn 1 now for the Night Lords. Alright, so we're on the first turn here for the Night Lords. Brian's still pondering which reserves to bring in. It's a real conundrum, this one. Question is does he commit early to the fight here and bring in his reserves, or does he hold them off? Because remember, the Blood Angels do have the nasty Sanguinary Guard and Sanguinor to arrive. So does he hold off and wait for them to see where they turn up, or does he try and strike back early to make up the difference? That's the big question that Brian's had. But in the game's... So the whole shape of the game is still not known yet. We've seen the Blood Angels attack here on their right-hand flank moving up, but still there's plenty of forces to commit to the battle. So we're not entirely sure how this game is going to work out. But are you happy with that deployment there, Obliterators? No? Okay, you're still thinking about it. Bikers have moved. They've swept round here on this flank. Chaos Spawn are either going to stay there or they're going to move. He's moved back with the main screen here with the 2 units of cultists, and then the Predators have held position just so they can fire at their full ballistic skill just there. Then around this side, with the Blood Angels moving out, it did create a gap here, and the Raptors have turned up, and the Lord is just in there as well, him just there. So they have turned up just here, ready to fire and potentially charge as well. Brian may well go after the Death Company, try and reduce them down. Obliterators, I think he's going to keep them there. The Sorcerer's there as well, so that's his Psychic Powers and Smite available from him. Brian has moved the Chaos Spawn. They've moved through the scrub and jungle terrain just here, and he's going to advance. They're advancing as well, are they? Another 4 inches on the move with them as well. So trying to converge his forces to try and react to this Blood Angels' initial advance and their strike, which has been pretty effective here. Night Lord's going to try and bounce back from the initial damage they've taken. Alright, so movement is finished. So Terminators and the Terminator Lord, they have not deployed. Brian wants to keep some kind of reserve just to hold off, especially to see what the Sanguinary Guard decide to do. But Obliterators have turned up. That's nasty heavy firepower there, plus the Sorcerer as well. So Blood Angels now will need to look behind them as the Night Lord Assault attacks here from behind. So advanced move made by these bikers as well. That's why they moved up so quick. Sweeping around on their right-hand flank. Pretty empty at this side of the board. A lot of action taking place across the other side. So we're going to Psychic Phase next, now that the Sorcerer's arrived. So Psychic Phase here on turn 1 for the Night Lords next. Okay, so Psychic Phase, we have completed it here. Pretty straightforward. Smite went off, and we've removed one of the Stone Guard veterans just there. Just the 1 mortal wound coming through. And that marker just next to the Obliterators, that is Prescient, so +1 to hit for them. That'll be for shooting and for combat. That Psychic Phase is done. On to shooting now, to see if the Night Lords can respond with their own firepower. Okay, so starting the shooting here. Bolt pistol firepower, and there's a plasma pistol to fire as well. Not all of them in range, but it's going after the Death Company here. Yeah, so this is bolt pistols in 3s.
3 hits.
Okay, and then force to wound. None. Okay, and then a plasma pistol. You're free to hit. Yes, rolled the 1. It wasn't overcharged, that's fine, so it's just a straight miss. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so potential for assault, though, from those, if they can reach the Death Company. So that's them done. We'll see what Brian fires next. Combi Bolt is next.
Yeah, into this.
Okay, that's from the Sorcerer firing. He actually gets 4 shots, he's in range, and they've all hit. Then force to wound. There's 2. Nice dice, by the way, Brian. They're very suitable for the Night Lords. So I'm using Tau dice here. And we do foul with 1, so we've lost another one of these veterans here. So that's 2 of them down. We'll just mark up morale. They will have to take a morale test. They should be okay, just losing 2. Just put that on. Marking them just with the white dice just there. Obliterators.
Target the Annihilator Predator.
Going after the tank, yeah, 40 wood. Alright, and this will be interesting to see how effective they can be.
So, strength 8.
Okay.
AP -3.
Very good.
That'll be damage.
Damage 1. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna command point it here, and he's rolled a 6. That's not damage 6, it's D3 damage, is it?
Yeah, it's 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay. That's good though. So it's going to come in at strength 8, AP -3 and 3 damage. That it sounds pretty good. May well be able to make a mess of this Predator Annihilator, and Brian will be glad to get rid of this one. In fact, it'll be a perfect revenge for what's taken place up here. Blow for blow, potentially. We'll see how many shots you get. This is rolling them all together, so the whole squad's going after the Predator here. Take it as freeze to hit. 2s with prescience, very, very good. So loads of hits coming through. It'll be freeze to wound. Yeah, this Predator's in massive trouble here. This is a good, well-coordinated attack coming through. Freeze to wound. There's quite a few have failed, actually. A lot have failed, so just 4 come through. A lot of... Yeah, that's not so good. 4 have made it through. We do get a save of 6+. Here, no cover, but it's -3, so we still get saves. And a couple of 6s in, that'll be good. There's 1. It's 3 damage a time, so it's 9 points. We'll not do a reroll here, but we've that roll, actually, that 6 has kept that Predator alive, so it's got a few wounds left, but we've stopped it from being destroyed. So he's in the lowest damage bracket now, so that Predator's in serious trouble, but haven't conceded the kill point, though. So Predator has remained alive, but serious damage coming through from the Obliterators. Okay, so we're on Predators now. This one here, the one that's taken a few wounds, the autocannon is going to go after the Storm Raven, and then 2 las cannon shots are going to try and finish off the Predator here. Okay, so what do you want to start with? Las cannons? Okay, here they come. One's hit, one's missed. Okay, freeze to wound. No, he's rolled a 1. And no reroll available, so that's him done. Autocannon now into the... Storm Raven? Shots. Yeah, no, it's 4 shots. It's 2 D3 shots, not 2 D6. So 4 shots coming through. Need 3s. Need 4s, sorry, for hard to hit.
But 3 hits.
Yep.
Reroll 1s because of the lowered.
Ah, okay, helpful enough.
No.
Okay, so 3 hits come through. Be forced to wound. Oh, well, that's very good. 2 4s and a 6, so the wounds come through. It's -1, so 4 up to save here. There'll be trouble here for the Storm Raven if we foul some of these. We have fouled 2. That's 6 wounds coming through. That is a very, very good result there from this Predator here. That Predator autocannon is pretty good. 14 wounds to start off with, though, so it's absorbing the damage pretty good. 8 wounds still remain. Remember, we still have this Predator here available to fire the whole thing.
Same.
He's going to try and pick off... Okay, he wants to pick off this target here. So 2 las cannons in.
1 hit.
1 hit, okay. And that does wound, yes. So, -3, it's a 6 up save. Some cover, 5 up to try and block this. No, can't not going to reroll, so it's D6, 2+ to destroy it. Brian rolls a 3, it's gone. I'll roll up here to see if we detonate, which we almost do on a 5, but no, the Predator has been destroyed. So target destroyed here. We're just leaving the models on the board just for the look of it here, but we'll remove them for line of sight, and if we need to for any reason, but they do look quite good here, just wrecked like so. So that's that Predator destroyed. Brian's just rolled up here for his autocannon number of shots, which he gets 5 shots this time. And needing 4s to hit, re-rolling 1s for the Chaos Lord just nearby. So there's those 2 1s he can re-roll. Oh, you're joking. 5 out of 5 hits. Storm Raven could well be in trouble here. Forced to wound, though. Could foul some of these wounds coming through. Oh, it's amazing. 4. Very good. -1. We've got to make some saves here as the Storm Raven will be brought down. Got to pass 2 of these. We do pass 2, but it's taken another 6 wounds. It's still alive, though. It's absorbed a lot of damage coming through. But 6 wounds taken, that drops us down to 2 wounds remaining. Question is there anywhere else that can try and knock off those last couple of wounds? Surely not auto gunfire. We'll see. But the cultists, mate, it is possible they may well be able to pick up some wounds there on the Storm Raven. But it limps along here. It's been severely damaged by the firepower coming from these Predators. So Night Lord's doing very well here. They're equaling the game up, if not causing more damage than the Blood Angels have done. So that is well done to them. They lost their Predator here, but the return firepower has been very, very good indeed. But Brian has committed much of his force now, and the Sanguinius watch is on. Perhaps getting ready to come down next turn. We'll see. So yeah, it's going to be auto gunfight. Yeah, we'll let Brian fire his auto guns here. See if he can. Well, maybe film this because it's could be important. So 5s, is it?
Yeah.
With the -1 to hits, just 2 hits, 6s to wound. It's not going to happen, is it? No. Okay. Worth a go. But the Storm Ravens managed to stay alive on 2 wounds remaining. Yeah, very good. Shooting phase, I thought was finished. Brian's playing a stratagem here. He's going to shoot again with these. A very, very wise idea indeed. So target. Bow Predator. Oh no. Okay, so it's a fresh reroll, isn't it? Or a fresh roll up for number of damage and so on coming through. So I'll let Brian roll that up.
Thanks.
Same again, isn't it? 8. Yep.
AP.
-2. Okay.
Damage. 2.
2. Okay. Not as bad, but still deadly enough. So let Brian roll up here. And still, the psychic power helps them out as well. So it's well worth using the stratagem here. Good few 1s, but still it's 2s to hit those. So the vast majority of the shots have hit. Just here, and then we'll be looking at strength 8, so it'll be 3s to wound. A few have failed, but still average, yeah, pretty much most of them have come through. That looks like 6 to save. -2 this time. We'll check for cover. There is some line of sight blocking terrain here. Yeah, we'll check that out, see if that's 50% or more. Yeah, it's in agreement. Here it is. So that's +1. So it's 3+, 4+, 5+, then becomes 4+ with the cover. So should be able to block some of these. Yeah, we block 4 of them. It's 2 come through. It's 2 damage. So 4 wounds taken on the Bow Predator. Yeah, no, he's a couple of wounds clear of the damage bracket there, but 7 wounds remain on the Bow Predator, but he'll still fight at full ballistic skill there. So that is shooting phase finished. Any other trickery to go on? So it's been good play here for the Night Lords. Good shooting from their Predators, evening up the game, almost destroying the Storm Raven here. Predator Annihilator's gone. Bow Predator's been struck here as well. So an excellent ambush here from these Obliterators. So it has been good play for the Night Lords. I was wondering how well they respond, and they have done very well indeed. So that is the end of the shooting phase. Assaults, there may well be some here. Yeah, alright. So we'll roll up some charges and Overwatch, see what makes it into combat. Alright, so 1 charge was attempted, and that was just here. A casualty taken. We can just remove that. I don't think you're going to bust morale on a 1. Okay, so 1 casualty taken. That was a bolter fire coming through from these. 1 bolter we have in the squad. Pistols miss, and then Brian needed a 9. Rolled a 7. Rerolled the 2 on a command point, but still rolled a 2. They didn't make it into combat, so they will remain stationary just there. That is the end of the first turn. A pretty even trade between the two sides here. Blood Angels with their initial strike thought we were doing well, and the Night Lords have responded very well indeed, damaging the Blood Angels force here significantly. So we're going to go on to the second turn now for the Blood Angels. Do they commit their reserves or not is the question that we have. There's some thinking to do here. We need to take another step ahead here. Can't hold back. Cannot hold back the Blood Angels. Got to go aggressive. We'll see what happens next. We'll go on to their second turn. Okay, so movement done for the Blood Angels here on turn 2. This is it. It's a full commitment now to the fight for the Blood Angels. Nothing's been held in reserves. You can see the Sanguinary Guard have arrived. The Sanguinary himself is just in the front here as well. We're just over 9 inches away from the Obliterators, and there's a nice path to charge through just here to make it into contact. Then Stern Guard have fallen back here. They're going to try and lend some fire support as the Death Company prepare to charge in against the Raptors. And then this squad's moved along 6 inches, taking up position here to lend some fire support to the Predator, which has remained stationary. Can try and take on the Chaos Spawn moving through. And then we have unloaded the transport here. The Dreadnoughts moved across here, 11 inches in total, heading off towards the damaged Predator. That's 3-inch disembarkation, and then 8-inch move with him. Then the Terminator's 8 inches in total with them. We've just moved part of the wreck out of the way just to clear a path for them, potentially charging multiple targets. Chaplain's just in the front there, and the Sanguinary Priest also. Stormraven reduced to 20-inch move now, just with its damage bracket. That is its wound, by the way. Just tracking the 2 wounds remaining. Has pivoted and then headed off 20 inches in that direction. It will need 5s to hit now in the shooting phase. That is movement done. Blood Angels fully committed. A chance now for them to cause trouble here for the Night Lords. No psychic phase for them. We'll go straight on to shooting next for the Blood Angels on turn 2. So we'll start here. 5 shots here from the Stern Guard. Going to try and pick off some wounds on the spawn. So freeze. And then we'll need toughness. 5. So 5's to wound. 2 come through, and it's -2. Yeah, it's just a straight 2 wounds that come through. So we'll mark these with these counters just here. How many wounds do you have for them?
4 each.
4 each, right. There's some wounds to try and get through. We'll fire the Predator next. Going to fire all the weapons it has into these as well. Try and reduce them down. So we have remained stationary this time. So bolters first of all. Oh, hang on a second. No, we'll leave him because I don't think he can escape anywhere. save him for another turn. So we'll fire everything into there. So this is heavy bolters. And that's good firepower. Strength 5, toughness 5, so 4's to wound. Not so good now, just 1 wound coming through. -1, so 6 up save available for them. No, it's another wound picked up. Then we can go with the twin assault cannon next. 3's to hit with that. Nice amount of shots, some misses. And then 3's to wound at strength 6. Yeah, not bad. 6 wounds come through, and that's -1, so 6 saves of 6+. This could cause trouble here for these Chaos Spawn. So Brian looking for 6s. 1. Okay, so 5 wounds taken. That's going to be 2 models in total, yeah, with the other wounds taken into account. Okay. Stormbolter, 2 shots. Both have missed. And that's it. Battle Predator finished. But not bad. Just 1 Chaos Spawn left. But that 1 model will be enough to silence the tank if Brian does make it into combat, if he decides to go after that. Okay, we could fire the Stormraven down and try and pick it off. Yeah, that may well be an option. But think about it here. Got to try and get this right. These Predators need to be dealt with as well. So we'll see what's the best option for shooting next. Yeah, so we'll go crack grenade now from the Sanguinary Priest. In the 3+, gets his hit with 5 for a wound. Does wound, it's -1. So 4+ save. Saved on a 4, well done. And we'll fire another crack grenade. This is from the Chaplain. He gets his hit. And he gets a wound as well. Well placed crack grenades coming through. A 1. It's going to be D3 damage. Just the 1. So 1 wound picked up on this Predator here. So we're going to go Melter and Tier and Frag Cannon now with the Dreadnought. 2d6 shots against these cultists is just about within range. I was going to say, if we roll high enough, we could wipe them out here. We've got 10. This could be an epic Frag Cannon round coming through. So I was going to roll to hit. They're auto hits. So rolls to wound. Strength 6, toughness 3, and -1. So 2's to wound. 2 fail. Right, so that, and it's -1. So that's 8 brought down there by the frag cannon. Dear me, that was devastating there from the Furioso Dreadnought. So 8 cultists slain in a hail of shrapnel coming from the Dreadnought. So good impact there from the Dreadnought. We'll go for the melt now into the Predator, which does hit as a 3. Just there, and then a 3 to wound. Yes, and it's -4, so it's a straight D6 or 2d6. Choose the best because of our range. We'll choose the 5. So 5 wounds picked up on the Predator. That's pretty horrific damage coming through. Yeah, and we're just discussing it's the method of delivery there for the Dreadnought that's made him so deadly. He's been brought up the table, which is usually the problem for Dreadnoughts, is they're having to walk around. He's been transported across, kept safe, and then has been delivered at the perfect range here for shooting and for close combat. So Furioso Dreadnought inside a Storm Raven seems to be a pretty good option. So that's shooting done from here. Not too bad. Grenades being thrown and the Dreadnought erupting in firepower as well. Still got the Storm Raven to fire. I reckon the damage through here is significant enough. So we're going to direct our firepower down at this Chaos Spawn to try and finish him off. So we'll fire everything at him. 2 multi-melters in 5s. 1 does come through. Be a 3 to wound. It does wound. -4. So it's. We'll just check the range here. If we're within 12, we can choose, roll 2 dice and choose the best. Yeah, no, it's target within. It doesn't. We were wondering if it's just vehicles. It's not. It's any target. And Brian has just checked the range there. It is 12. So we'll choose the best here out of these 2. 2. So 2 wounds come through. Still alive here, Brian. Happy enough with that. So now we've got las cannons. There's a hit. There's a wound on a 5. It's -3, so it goes straight through, and it's d6 damage 6. Yeah, so mission accomplished there. That's him gone. Caught out there as they tried to advance in a crossfire of Blood Angel's firepower. That sandwiched in between the Storm Raven and the Bow Predator. Okay, so that's shooting done at this end. So we're now moving across to here. We're not going to fire the Angelus bolt guns. If we reduce one of those down, it's going to create a longer distance to try and charge. Do have firepower down here to resolve. Okay, so in Midnight Clad is the stratagem that Brian has just played. He's playing it on this unit here, so it's -1 to hit them. Brian going to try and protect this unit as best as he can. 6 shots coming through from these rapid fire special issue ammunition. So we need 4s. That was a 4 there, so we've got 2 hits. And 1 wound comes through, and it's -2. So 5 up save. We'll say cover here. Really, there is cover. So we'll give Brian a 4 up save. He passes out on a 5, no problem. So no impact there from the stern guard. So Def Company, a grenade can be thrown and some other firepower. So throw a grenade, crack grenade here. 6, we get a hit. 6, we get a wound. -1 on the save, and there's no cover. So 4 up save. Yes, passed. All right. So then we're on to bolt pistols and bolters, and the bolter we can fire together. So 1, 2, 3 pistols and a rapid fire bolter. So 5 shots. Need 4s. 4s again to wound. 2 wounds come through. Normal armor save for 3+. Brian fouls 1. Okay, so just 1. Happy enough to lose this one at the back here. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's him gone, but not too much impact there from firepower here at this end. So not too much damage there from shooting. It will be combat that will decide the fate of these units down here in the corner. Do you have to remember there is this unit, plus there is this character here as well, so the Dev Company to be careful. And don't think. So this is awkward here. If we charge in, we can't contact him. Brian could then go for the heroic intervention and fight against Death Company. So it would be a tough task for them. But that is shooting phase finished. It has been pretty good from the Blood Angels. Some pretty deadly firepower here. And they're lined up for some pretty good combats as well. So we're going to assaults next. I'll roll up some charges and Overwatch. See what makes it in to combat for the Blood Angels on their second turn. Alright, so charges are taking place. It's been pretty eventful here. A load of Overwatch and a load of Blood Angels units charging in. So you can see the Sanguinary Guard made it into combat just there. Overwatch wasn't particularly effective. There was just 1 save to make in the end, which they passed, so no damage taken. We did use a stratagem, Descent of Angels. It was 2 command points. We then to use that stratagem, which we recovered 1 of them on a 5+, so the Veritas Vitae, and they made it into combat. We did need that extra d6. It was 3d6 charge. We did need that to make it into combat, so that stratagem helping the Blood Angels out at that crucial point. Sanguinor tried to charge but failed. He didn't roll very high at all, so that's the charge there, but happy enough to get the Sanguinary Guard into combat at least. Then over here we lost one of the Stern Guard veterans from Overwatch. The other 2 made it in, and then the Death Company sheltered there from Overwatch, then made it into combat with this squad. Haven't reached the leader though. He has not been reached in combat. Over here we tried to charge. It was 11 inches needed and failed to reach the lone cultist squad leader. And then over here we charged with the Terminators first against all of the targets. So the Chaos Lord, who's just in there, and the 2 Predators. A autocannon took out one of the Terminators. And then we used a command point to reroll, but failed. and he still died. So that's the one of the Terminators gone. But then they made contact with their targets, so then that cleared the way for the Sanguinary Priest and the Chaplain to make it into combat here. And 2 Terminators also contacting the Predator. Terminator Sergeant is in contact with the Chaos Lord. 1 lone Terminator into here, along with the Dreadnought, protected from Overwatch, charging in as well. So loads of assaults here for the Blood Angels. They're making contact all across the board. We'll see how effective they are in combat now. We'll go on to combat resolution next for the Blood Angels on their second turn. So we're going to fight this combat here, just being aware, there's loads of combats to choose, but just being aware that the Night Lords could interrupt the charging units and intervene in the combat. So I reckon this one's the important one. Death Company, we're going to choose this unit to fight first here. So with the rules for Death Company now, we'll go with this Thunderhammer here, 2 attacks, an extra attack on the charge for Black Rage, and then we'll be on +1 to wound as well. Yep, so we're at -1 to hit though, so 3 attacks and even 4s. Oh, just the 1. And there'll be a 2 to wound. Yes, that is a 6. Just playing whole facing here for dice rolls. That's a 6 just there. Okay, so a 6 up to save. Surely not. I just knew he'd do that. So he's rolled a 6 there and defied the Thunderhammer. A bit of fist pumping going on here as well. So ineffective with the Thunderhammer. Power Swords next. Okay, so Power Swords next. There's 2 of them with the extra attacks, 6 attacks in total, needing 3s. Okay, then we need 4s to wound, becomes 3s to wound with red first. 111. 1 save here, a 6+. We're not cutting through the armour here. Death Company's struggling. 3. Okay, 1 brought down, but it's not too effective. We'll just remove this one from the back, just with a regular pistol. Push up their casualties to a 2. Okay, so 2 attacks and then an extra 1. That's for the guy with the bolter. 2 guys with chainswords will actually be on 4 attacks each on the charge. These could be effective enough here. 3s to hit. Maybe volume of attacks is better for the Death Company here. And then 4s to wound becomes 3s to wound. 4 regular saves of 3+. Just let Brian roll up. He has failed 2. See that just the regular attacks come through has proven just as effective.
Drop the flamer on the regular guy.
Okay. Oh yes, because Brian wants extra attacks. Alright, so that's them down. That's that squad reduced to just 3 of them now. So we'll do this combat here. Just doing all the charges first. So it's a sergeant and a regular veteran. So 5 attacks, in 3s. There's been some shock horror dice rolling here in this game using these tau dice. 3s to wound because it's 4+ usually, then a 3+. Okay, so 1 wound comes through. Regular armor save of a 3+. Yes, Brian's making his rolls here. So that's the Stern Guard done. So we've done all our charges here. That's that complete. Brian can fight back a bit later. Heroic Intervention as well available for him. So pick a combat. We'll go on to this one here. I'll see how well the Sanguinary Guard do. Okay, so we've lost out a lot of bonuses here. The Sanguinor's failed to make it in. He's over 6 inches away. Do not get the extra attack. Do not get rerolls to hit because he's not made it in. So that's a significant loss of potential there from those. But we'll roll up anyway. 2 attacks each. We'll go for the swords first. There's 5 of them. So that's 10 attacks. Needing 3s to hit. It's pretty good. We've got 8 hits. So toughness of the Obliterators
4
is toughness 4, which would mean that we'd be on 4s to wound, becomes 3s to wound because of red first. So 3s to wound coming through, and 3 of them fail, but 5 do get through. They're AP -3, so
5, 6 and vulnerable.
invuln saves, right? Okay, so 5+ invuln saves, 5 saves to make, needing 5+. Could well be trouble here because they're D3 damage a time. There's none. Okay, so this is potentially some serious damage could come through. There's 3, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brian says hold it there. That's enough to finish them off. Those 3 there. Okay. Done. All right. It's difficult with him. We didn't declare a charge against him. Even if we could consolidate into him, we'll not get to fight him. Brian would get to fight. So it's a choice of whether to push in or not. We'll need to make a decision now before we move on to the next combat. Yeah, no, we'll leave it here. If we pile in, Brian can then pick that combat and then fight. So we'll leave him we'll just stare at each other here. The glistening angels beholding the abomination that is that chaos sorcerer. Just a moment's silence there before the next round of fighting. So we'll leave it there. They've done their job. Well done to them. They've destroyed the obliterators there with the swords raised. Axes were on standby but didn't need them in the end. So it's going pretty good here for Blood Angels. Not too bad. We'll go all the way up to the other end of the board now. Combat's up here. So we're going to fight the Sergeant first of all. He's just in there, just trying to pick the right order here. We don't want these tanks detonating before we get to fight other targets. So we'll go after the Sergeant. We'll go after his Warlord here, or the Chaos Lord. Forced to hit with the Sergeant. Rerolls because of the Chaplain. God, be glad the Chaplain's there. Dear me. 4s. That's better. That was well worth taking the Chaplain, adding him into the unit. Toughness 4. Yeah, 2s to wound. The 2 wounds do come through, and they are 3 damage at a time. He may well be on an invuln perhaps. We'll see what Brian has. So 4 up invuln save here. She fouls both. That'll be 6 damage. Unless you want to come on and reroll. He's not too significant anyway. He's not particularly well armed, so I think that's that Chaos Lord brought down. Brian's just going to check. Right, he's gone. Okay, so that's him removed. Yeah, Terminators usually struggle to hit their target, but with the addition of the Chaplain there, giving them the rerolls, you've seen how helpful that has been. So Sergeant completes his task. We'll pick this one here. 2 attacks in 4s. Reroll for the Chaplain. 2 hits, unbelievable. So we would be on 3s to wound. Becomes 2s to wound because of red first. They both wound. -3, so 2 saves of 6+. Nope, and that is 6 damage.
So I got 3 left.
Yeah, you got 3 left, right, so Dreadnought won't get to fight here. You can roll to see if you detonate. Brian would like to. If you get a 6. No. A 1, okay, so Predator destroyed. And then we'll go on to try and finish off this Predator here with 10 wounds remaining. Okay, so Predator gone. We'll try and finish this one here. So that'll be 2 attacks each. That's 4 attacks. Needing 4s. Reroll the misses. Fouled this time, so just 2 come through. 2s to wound. Yes, 2 wounds. 2 saves of 6+. No, okay, so that's 6 wounds caused. There's 4 remaining. So Chaplain might be able to do something here. He's got 3 attacks, needing 2s. That's completely cocked, that dice, so I'll reroll it here. It's a 2, he does get his hit. We were saying that was a 1, but I've re-rolled it anyway, and he would have got a re-roll because of the Chaplain's influence. That's fine. So 5s to wound then at strength 5 becomes 4s to wound with the red first. 2 come through. It's -1, so 2 saves of 4+. Okay, so passes with 1. So that's 2 more. That's 2 damage. So we're down to 2 wounds remaining now on this Predator. Let's see if the Sanguinary Priest can cause any damage. Okay, so he gets 3 attacks. Then he gets an extra 1 because he's got a chainsword. And he'll be on 2s to hit, and then re-rolls because of the Chaplain. So they've all hit. He's strength 4, +1 for the Chalice. Is strength 5, so he 5s to wound, becomes 4s to wound because of red first. 2 wounds do come through, but there's no modifiers here, so it's 2 saves of 3+. If Brian fouls both, no, he's passed both, no problem at all. So Predator has survived here. It's on the lowest damage bracket, just 2 wounds remaining, but it has stayed alive just about. So we reckon that's combat's resolved for all of the charges. Brian can fight back, just whilst we remember here. Brian can choose to fight against Terminators, the Chaplain, or the Sanguinary Priest. 1 attack. Who are you going after? Which can go anyone you want.
After the
Terminators. Okay.
After Sanguinary Priest.
Right. Yep.
No.
Okay.
6 to hit.
Oh yeah, 6 to hit. Right. That's done. Okay. So then across here, are you going to intervene in this combat or hold off?
No, I'm going to hold off.
Hold off. Okay. No problem. And then across here, you can fight back. There's a possibility of heroic intervention here. Yeah, so Brian's not going to intervene here. He wants to keep this model free to move off. to charge, to move wherever he wants and charge wherever he wants. So he's going to hold off. These three are going to fight, and they're all going after the Death Company with their attacks. So this is chainswords.
Yeah, 2 attacks and then 3 on the sergeant. So 7 attacks.
Oh, the whole squad's chainswords.
The whole chest, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is okay. This is all of the attacks come through. Incredible dice rolling. Very good. So they've all hit. The real bloodlust going on here as they try and strike back against the Blood Angels. 4s to wound.
Yeah, disappointing 3.
Okay, yeah, just 3 of them. And then we'll make our saves here of 3+. Should we pass all of them? God, death. 4, 5, and 6. So that's the end of the turn. Brian's just going to do morale for this squad. They've taken 5 casualties. There's a chance here they may well be in trouble. He's rolled a 2. Now that's all right. 2 plus 5 is 7. So morale is fine. His leadership is 8. And
there's not any squad there. They're all out.
Oh yes.
6. They lost 8 men, so
they're auto gone. Yes. No. So those 2 are automatically gone. They'll melt away after being hit by the frag cannon just there. So that is. Combat's finished. A little bit of consolidation actually to sort out here that remains from this combat, and then the turn is finished. Yeah, it's consolidation here. The Terminators that were here crossed here. I was going to advance him in that direction, but it has to be nearest enemy model, so we're just going to hold exactly where we are with the Dreadnought. But that is the turn finished there. Combat's resolved. Do have to say the Blood Angels have made a pretty horrific mess here. Yeah, they've done well. It's been a coordinated assault from them. Dealing with targets up here. This position overrun really by the attack from the contents of the Storm Raven. And then here an intervention's taken place and the Obliterators have been removed from play. So some pretty deadly results have taken place here on this turn. The Blood Angels has gone well for them. Just sense they're more of an impact now of an army with the new codex. It has helped them out, as we've seen, and especially their the attack here and then the reserves coming down has gone well for them. But we'll go on to the second turn now for the Night Lords. They've got the Bikers still alive here, number of characters still alive, and then there's a well-equipped Terminator squad and Terminator Lord as well, also available. Brian may well be able to make an impact with that unit and the HQ as well. But it's difficult here. Blood Angels, have to say they are ahead here. But we'll see what kind of recovery the Night Lords can make on their second turn coming up next. So we're on the second turn of movement here for the Night Lords. Brian trying to coordinate a response here. It's a case of ganging up on key targets here. So Biker's swift enough, crossing the crater just there. They're clear of that and they'll be able to charge in. I think Brian's going to hold position here with the Sorcerer. Mortal wounds that he can deal out as well. So there's some possible damage here. You could rectify the situation. Remember, he is free to move off and charge at whoever he pleases. The combat continues. Cultists, well, they're on the they're on the advance here. Brave bunch. They're heading off towards the Dreadnought that obliterated that second squad just there, but they're on the move as well. So the question is now, is Brian making his moves, the ground forces? Question is, where are these Terminators going to turn up? There's so many options for them. There's vehicles they could try and pick on. There's a Storm Raven to try and finish off. There's targets down here to try and pick on as well. So Blood Angels spread out across the board. But the great thing about the Terminators, there is that choice of where to bring them down. We're saying a nice board as well. That the terrain matches these two armies really well. It's a different terrain combination we've gone for. It seems to look very good indeed. Nice mat here by GameMat.eu. I reckon it's a good one for historical games as well. It would look good for bolt action games. There's no futuristic markings on it. It's just a cobbled street that runs all the way around, and you've got these different islands of grassland and earth just there, and then we just place the train on top. It's come out pretty good. Palm trees as well. Tutorial for them on the channel, by the way. If you like the way the palm trees have come out, then check out the terrain tutorial for creating your own palm trees. That's the kind of results that you can achieve. So Brian just still contemplating his moves. just to mention as well, there's a Blood Angels painting tutorial on the channel as well. So if you like the way the Blood Angels look, then check out that painting tutorial, and you can achieve the same results with them just by following that video along step by step. Yeah, oh dear, Terminator's here. Just making sure he's just over 9 inches away. They're armed with combi melters. They've got no invuln save on these Sanguinary Guards. They may well find themselves in trouble here. Alright, so movement complete here. You've pulled out of combat. Brian's pulled out of combat with the Predator here. We're also saying just stay in combat, but if you pull out, it means the Terminators, or some unit of the Blood Angels here, is going to have to go after it again, and then Brian will get Overwatch as well, just trying to waste as much of the Blood Angels' time as possible at this end here, keeping the Terminators busy. Then across here we've seen the Cultists on the move, and then across here it looks like the Night Lords stronger at the Blood Angels end of the board. Now with Bikers coming across, we've seen the Sorcerer holding position, and the Terminators have turned up. The Terminator Lord there as well has also arrived to join that squad. They're all just over 9 inches away. Sanguinary Guard, expensive unit, caught out in the open here. They may well find themselves in a fair bit of trouble against these Night Lord targets here, these Night Lord units that are piling up against them. Around here, the Chaos Lords jumped over and preparing to charge against the Death Company from behind. The melee continues along with that unit. So Night Lords, they are behind, but they've got units here to strike back, and potentially could cause a headache here for the Blood Angels. If we lose the Sanguinary Guard, the game's back on. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Night Lords on turn 2. Alright, Psychic Phase finished. Pretty good. Smite went off and caused 3 mortal wounds. So one of the Sanguinary Guard lost and a wound on another. And then Prescience cast on himself, so +1 to hit for shooting and combat. So good Psychic Phase there. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next for the Night Lords on turn 2.
Shots first.
Okay, this is Bikers firing through against the Sanguinary Guard. One hit comes through, be a 2 to wound. Yep, -4. So hang on a second, we may get a... Oh, damage is running up damage too. Yes, it's going to kill one of them. We still get a 6-up save here, even against a melter shot, which we... Oh, that was on a 6 and it rolled to a 5. So we'll take the one with the wound, actually. So he's gone. The wounds don't overflow from regular wounds that come through. So that's another Sanguinary Guard brought down. We'll move that to a 2. There's 8 of them. They can absorb a fair bit of damage. They're not an auto morale, though. They're over 6 inches away from the Sanguinor, so he looks on with a tear in his eye here as he sees his beloved Sanguinary Guard being picked on by the filth of chaos here.
The rest of them are using their combi bolters.
Combi bolters, yeah, nice big volume of shots. Our 2-up save should help. Here, it's looking for 3s to hit. And then it will be 4s to wound. This kind of firepower is not so bad with a 2-up save and 2 wounds. Unless you roll really bad, so 4s to wound. It's good dice rolling though, these unnaturally tainted dice here that Brian's using. 7. 2+ saves. Oh no! 111. That's the disaster we were hoping to avoid. So that's another Sanguinary Guard brought down, another 20 hours of painting removed from the board, and a wound taken as well. I'm going to put them on the axes actually. Yeah, we'll put a wound on this axe guy just here. In fact, no, we'll go over here, and if he dies, maybe we'll be able to reduce the distance the Bikers can charge. Okay, so that's the Bikers done. Pretty deadly firepower from them actually. Sanguinary Guard taking casualties pretty bad, so we've still got the Terminators to fire next. Okay, so Brian's going to go fire just melters here, so it's 3s to hit with these. Rerolling 1s because of the Chaos Lord nearby. Oh, very good. 2s to wound. Oh, dear me. Great dice rolling here. 5 saves are 6+. Otherwise, if we fail this, the Sanguinary Guard are gone. None. No, sorry, it's D6 at a time, isn't it? So you're on D6 damage, so he's automatically gone. You can't but fail to kill him. So D6, a 6, right, so he's gone. Next one, D6, a 2 is enough. And then the next one is a 1, okay, and then the next one will auto kill him, so he's gone. That's it. So I don't think we're going to survive here. The Chaos Lord's going to fire, needing a 2. Needing a 2 to wound. Oh dear, a 6 to keep the last angel alive. No, he's gone.
4 damage.
And it's 4 damage. Absolutely horrific here. The Sanguinary Guard have been destroyed utterly. That was pretty blistering firepower. A good convergence there of the Night Lords, multiple units piling up, and it's paid off here. Sanguinary Guard destroyed. Bryan just firing pistols here. 1 wound comes through. This is pistols in close combat. We fail. 6+ though, with a little imbun. Oh yes! The red first, or black rage there, kicking in and helping the Death Company out.
Plasma gun.
Oh, plasma pistol, yeah.
Plasma pistol hits.
Wounds. 6 up to save. Defiance here from the Death Company. Okay, this is cultists here needing 5s. 6s? 5s. 5s, okay. And not bad. Just the -1 to hit here. We're still airborne with the Storm Raven. 6s to wound. Surely not. No, okay. So, auto gunfire ineffective against that. Alright, so that is the shooting phase finished. Just looking around to see if there's anything else. No, well, there's heat fired. He could fire. Actually, he could fire across against him. And Bryan has a tasty strat. I don't know why I pointed it out. It's good imperial sportsmanship here. Closest model is the Sanguinor. Bryan has a stratagem that he could use.
I'm going to fire the Demon Shell.
The Demon Shell. Another act of defiance here against the Imperium. So you're looking for a hit to 2+, I take it to...
No, 3.
3, okay. Oh.
Prescient gives him +1 to hit. So
Oh yes, he cast it on himself. Well done. So he does get his hit. And then the stratagem, the rules for it. Oh, it's a straight up. Okay, it's like Hellfire Shells then for the Imperial Forces. Oh no, he's rolled a 6. It's 3 wounds, mortal wounds. Oh dear. Oh dear. Demon Shell comes flying across the road there and impacts on the Sanguinor. 3 mortal wounds. Unbelievable. Yeah, so there's only 5 wounds on the Sanguinor. He's got to be careful. That's a nasty, nasty hit there from that sorcerer. We're lining up to go after the sorcerer here, but we may well have to pull back here after seeing the Sanguinary Guard brought down and then the Sanguinor himself under attack as well. So an excellent recovery here. Really good from the Night Lords. Very impressive indeed. But that is turn 2 shooting finished for the Night Lords. We've got combats. There is a charge for sure down here. We'll see what else. I think this is too far away across here. If Bryan's thinking of charging in, I doubt it. Okay, so across here then, you can just roll up. There's no Overwatch. It's rolled a 7. So in he goes to that combat just there. It's charges first, which means this Lord will get to go first in combat here against the Death Company. Now, I don't know how effective this model is in combat. We'll see. It does have this relic here.
So 4 taxed, +1 to the lightning claw.
Oh yes, Paralightning Claws, yeah. 2s for hits.
Rerolling 1s.
Because he's a lord, yeah. Does hit.
Be strength 5.
3s to wound.
Rerolling because of lightning claws.
Ah, right, great. Very good. 4 wounds come through. And these are at -3. Ouch, 6s. We do. Surely not. Surely not here with Black Rage. Oh, close. 3 of them survive. Utter defiance there from Death Company. They are desperate to get themselves back into this Blood Angels list of their durability. Very, very good indeed. All right, so just 1 there. Now Bryan can pick a combat, which will be this one. So now these can fight before we get to strike back. So a load of chainsword attacks now. I have to say though, 666.
Oh no.
Out of 4 dice.
Just into the definitely.
Yep, so this is the attacks coming through. Again, amazing dice rolling. All of them hit. They'll be forced to wound. Isn't there a rule here? 6s generate extra hits. Death to the False Emperor. There's at least 2 6s in there. So you can roll another 2. For generate extra attacks. That's 2 more hits have come through, and you can now try and wound with them Yes, 1 wound, so 2 in total. 2 wounds in total.
Original one, and then
Yep.
that generator one.
Fine, that's it. 3 wounds in total, which we failed to.
Roll another 2 6s.
Any more 6s available here? No. 2 more Death Company brought down. Painful there, their numbers being reduced now. Alright, so fighting back. I'm going to try and knock this Chaos Lord on the head with a thunder hammer here. So just 2 attacks, team 4s. 1 hit. 2s to wound. Yes, the wound comes through. It's -3. I take it you got an invuln save. Yeah, 4+ invuln save. Which he fails. Stratagem time.
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll.
Yeah, okay, so stratagem going to be used here. Which fails again. 3 wounds taken. Ouch. Yeah, that was a good hit there. We'll go power swords on these guys. Can try and finish them off. So that will be just 4 attacks. In 3s. Oh, triple 1.
Payback for all 6.
Yeah, and then the wound does come through. So a save of a 6+ here. One of these raptors is brought down. No, okay, so another one of them gone. Just this one here. And then we'll pick this combat. Sternguard veterans with the sergeant. 5 attacks. They all hit. Another unit trying to get into this Blood Angel's force. 2. It didn't charge. Just 2 wounds. Come through. 2 saves of 3+. Fails another 1 here. So another 1 brought down. It's quite tight, this combat here, actually. It's been a mini battle taking place. Consolidation towards the nearest enemy, so we'll just move into there, like so. And that marks the end of that combat. That marks the end of the turn. There's no other combats here. The Predator pulled out of the fight just over here. So, turn 2 finished. There's so much has happened in this game already at this stage. Yes, there's morale to resolve. We'll get that resolved here, and then we'll finish the turn off. That morale's fine. Roll up to Death Company, they're fine, and then Brian wouldn't fail there, just losing 2 casualties. So that is morale finished, and the turn finished. So Blood Angels found themselves nicely ahead, and then the Night Lords here have recovered. Just thinking about, meditating as to whether they've equaled the game up or not. Very close to doing so. If well, loss of the Sanguinary Guard, the Sanguinor half dead, doing pretty good down in this combat over here. And then, yes, the Blood Angels have this force, but they're out of shape here. They're miles away. The two deadly parts of these armies, here for the Blood Angels, and then all the way over here for the Night Lords. They're some distance away from each other now. So the other Blood Angels respond. It's all about kill points here in this game. Remember, there's Line Breaker to pick up as well. Blood Angels have that nicely, but so do the Night Lords. Slay the Warlord. The Night Lords are halfway there to accomplishing that, and your Warlord is the Terminator Lord. He's just over there. He's nice and safe at the moment. So that is the turn finished. We'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Blood Angels. We'll see. They need to keep themselves ahead here, so we'll try and coordinate themselves to make a deadly impact in this game. Alright, so movement here with the Blood Angels. Just trying to be wise here. I don't want to be too bold here, because this is quite a powerful Night Lord's force. So we've pulled back with a Sanguinor, much to the disgust of of Brian here. So jumping over the barricade and disappearing out of line of sight with him. Sternguard have fallen back as well, hiding behind here. Not hiding, just relocating. Predators panicked and hit the reverse and across the barricades here as well. Just the horror of seeing the Sanguinary Guard, the glistening golden armour, now stained with the charred blood that's left from them. It was a horrific massacre that took place just there in the road. Melee continues just here. We'll maintain the combats there with the Death Company and the Sternguard veterans. Then round here, we were contemplating picking up the Terminators, but we've got to finish off this Predator. So they have moved round here. Chaplain's moved across. We used the Narthekium here and failed. Used the command reroll on that and a stratagem and failed again, so he'll remain stationary whilst he collects the gene seed of the fallen brother. And so we then rolled Veritas Vitae, 5+, regained it, so we didn't lose or regained the command point back. Storm Raven's gone into hoverjet mode and has gone 20 inches coming to here. And then the Dreadnought made an advance move, 8 inches, 3-inch advance, has put him within range with the frag cannon to be able to fire that. It is an assault weapon. So that is movement done. No psychic phase. We'll go straight onto shooting now for the Blood Angels on turn 3. So you're going to start with the Storm Raven. 2 las cannon shots and 2 rockets will go into the bikers. So rockets here needing 5s, no. Las cannons needing 5s, no. No impact at all from that damaged flyer. So that's the shooting complete for him. We'll go frag cannon now. Again, if we roll high enough, they'll be in trouble. So 2d6. Oh, nowhere near as good this time. That's all right. So 3s to kill. 2s to kill. Yeah, 3 dead. -1 on the AP. They're auto hits. So 1, 2, 3 of them. May as well fire off a melter at them as well, which hits, wounds. 6 and a 6 and -4. So another 1 gone. So that's 4 casualties taken. There'll be morale for them later on. Predator here is going to go after the bikers.
Midnight Clad.
He's going to play Midnight Clad. Okay, stratagem, and that's been played now, so it's -1 to hit. And we moved from 5s to hit. And 4s to wound. 1 wound does come through. Brian, we're going to say, gets cover here and this. And then he also... Oh, hang on. You're just going to see when he can play it. We're just going to check the stratagem out here. Right, yes, it may well just be infantry. We'll just check the stratagem rules. Right, okay, no, okay, she's going to keep that command point there. So 3 up save, -1, 4 up, then back to 3 up again for cover. So, just the 1, yeah, 3+. And he's rolled a 5. Alright, so stay alive. That's heavy bolters. A twin assault cannon next, 12 shots. 4s. 4s to hit, yeah. So, yeah, a load of them missed. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 saves of 3+ on the bikers. They're 2 wounds each. They're durable enough. Yeah, no, he's passed both. 0 impact here. Storm Bolter will just be 2 shots. 1 hit. And no wound. Strength 4, toughness 5. So that's him finished. So, shooting... finished. Yes, we've done pistol fire down here. We caused 2 wounds. Brian made a save just there. Stern Guard do come with pistols. There's 2 pistols here for those 2 Death Company Marines as well. That is shooting phase finished. We threw a crack grenade here as well with the chaplain, but missed. And then the Sanguinary Priest couldn't do anything whilst he collects the gene seed. So that is shooting finished. Very, very low impact here for the Blood Angels. We'll see if combats can make any difference. Bit of a lull in the fighting here. Turn 2 is the horrific turn for both sides. And then now both sides trying to gather together what they have left to try and finish each other off. And it's whoever can do that the most effectively will go on to win the game. That's what we reckon here. Brian in good position with these. Maybe Terminator's a bit on the slow side, but Bikers still kept at their full strength. Very flexible unit. Number of decent HQs available for them. Blood Angels, decent assets available, but the army's split here. You've got a force here that's quite vulnerable, and then the high impact combat targets or units all the way up here. So it's hard to say what could happen. We'll roll up some charges next for the Blood Angels. All right, so we're just talking about the doom of this Predator here. So it's been contacted. There was 1 save to make from an autocannon, but past that, no problem. And they have made it in. Champion won't go into combat. He'll just grant his bonus to those. Just one wound needs to get through to finish it off on 2 wounds remaining. Brian, I hope he detonates out of spite against them. You may even be so spiteful to use a command reroll on that to try and make it go off. So that is it. We've pulled back out here of range here, so there's no charges, and this little fight that continues on over here still to go on. So we'll go on to combat resolution now. Terminators then, we'll roll them up. Sergeant with his 3 attacks, the others with their 2. 4s. Reroll for the chaplain. God, he's well worth the points. 2s to wound, just with red first. They all wound, so you've got 6 saves of 6+. You need to pass all of them. God, a lot of 5s, but not enough. All right, so now it's down to 1 dice roll to see if you detonate.
Dice roll.
This is it.
No.
Oh, no, okay. So, Predator destroyed, mission accomplished here with the Terminators. So, we've consolidated with them. Nearest enemy is the Cultist, just over there, so a few inches move for the Terminators. So now all the way up to the other end of the board is the fight down here. We'll pick the Death Company to fight with first of all. Yes, now it's important we pick them first. So we'll try and finish him off with the Thunderhammer. What revenge that would be. 2 hits, yes. 2s to wound, yes. You've got to pass both of these, otherwise this Chaos Lord will die. Thunderhammer's a handy asset to have here for the Death Company. It's fouled 1. It's passed the other. So if you get you can re-roll this if you wish. There's half a chance of keeping him alive. If you, yeah, it is worth it. I mean, if he stays alive, he could tip the combat in. No, he's rolled a 3. It's gone. It's flattened here by the Thunderhammer of the Death Company. Handy enough for taking on characters. That just having a Thunderhammer in that squad has helped out. 2 Power Swords now to try and finish him off. 3s, 4s, nothing. It's now your turn to fight.
You'll win the day.
So no doubt he'll go after Death Company. Yes, 2 hits, yeah. And then 4s to wound. God, 2 wounds. He's fighting viciously to the end here. 3 up saves. Fouled with 1. 6 up to keep him alive. No. So we've lost a Power Sword. Gone. Sternguard Veterans. Try and finish this Sergeant off. 3s to hit. 4s to wound. Nothing. So melee continues just with him left alive. But Blood Angel's prevailing here in this smaller fight taking place. Oh dear. Right, we've just resolved morale here. I thought it would just be a sideshow result, but we rolled a 6 for the Death Company. Their leadership's 7. So rolled a 6, took a casualty is 7, and then Brian is -1.
For Night Lord, I need a Raptor, so he's -1, so he's -2.
It's just -2 in total, so it puts it on a 9. That was a wipeout. We re-rolled it for And They Shall Know No Fear and rolled a 6 again. So Death Company destroyed, they're gone. That's evened the combat up to some degree. And a kill point achieved as well, with the Death Company being wiped out. So it's been a mixed result from them. Some excellent rolls and then tragedy there at the end. But they're sent in to die, and that's what they've done. But they've melted away with morale. It's just their leadership's 7, not particularly good. So that is the end of the turn there for the Blood Angels, just trying to readjust themselves here and finish off targets. They've had some success here, done pretty good. But now it's over to the Night Lords to see what impact they can make on their 3rd turn coming up next. Oh yes, morale here. Just let Brian roll up. Lose 1. Okay, so another one lost. And morale done. So we'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Night Lords. Alright, so movement complete here for the Night Lords on turn 3. So bikers have advanced. The melters will be able to fire. That's the advantage of those assault weapons. They've gone 12 and then automatically advanced 6. So very quick movement from them. Aggressively heading off towards this Blood Angel's position here. Terminators have advanced 4 inches and moved 5. So 9 inches and the Lord behind them rolling a 4 as well. So they've moved up. Moved up here with the Sorcerer as well in Terminator armor. So he's moved up also. Yes, and the cultists are behind there. You just have to believe me, they're hiding around there with the yes, they're tucked right round the back just there, just with the Dreadnought bearing down on them. So they've headed off, going to try and hide and prevent the Blood Angels from picking up that kill point. So that is movement done. Holding position here is lone cultist squad leader as well. So you want to move him, or are you happy enough? No, he's going to stay where he is. So hopefully the Blood Angels maybe we'll just continue to ignore him. He'll survive to the end, but we'll see. So that's it, and then the melee continues still locked in combat just there. So that is movement done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. Right, so Psychic Phase complete. Tried to cast Prescience here and failed, and then Smite, closest unit, is here. So we lost one of the Sternguard here. Just one of them left. Need to mark him for morale, but he should be fine. Alright, so that's that done. That is Psychic Phase finished. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next. So Plasma Pistol here, just in this combat. We'll see if Brian can finish him off. He's rolled a 1. Missed, okay. Bikers.
The only thing you can fire is the melter gun.
Yep, it's 2 melter shots here.
Hit on 4s because they advanced.
Oh yes, -1, yep. 3 and 2. Needed those hits there, the 7 wounds remaining.
No rerolls.
No rerolls, okay. Well, command points all used up now, are they?
Yeah.
All gone, okay. And These will be out of range. Yeah, with that they advanced anyway. Okay. So,
Hand to hand.
yeah, this guy here with shooting could pick up a wound maybe against the predator. It's about the only visible target. Couple of shots. Yeah.
2 shots.
2 hits come through. Yeah. 5s to wound. Toughness 7. God, 2 wounds. 2 saves of 3+. Passed both 3 and 4. Okay. So combat resolution, and it's just this one down here. So sergeant versus sergeant here. So let Brian fight first. What a way to finish here, down to the last man on either side in these 2 fights. 1 on this fight here. So we're trying to make a save. We do. Now strike you back with 3 attacks. 1 hit. Come on. 1 wound. How many wounds do you have?
1.
Oh, right, okay. 5. Oh, the melee continues here. And that'll mark the end of the turn. So turn 3 finished. And again, we've seen Blood Angels trying to adjust themselves here on turn 3. And the Night Lord's doing the same, trying to get in position to cause trouble for the Blood Angels. And not too much of an impact on this turn. So definitely has been a gap in the fighting here. We'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Blood Angels. Alright, so we're on movement phase here for the Blood Angels. Just to cover the Dreadnought, he advanced 4 and 8, that's 12, and he's just within range of the cultists around there, chasing them around from behind the container. We've picked up the Terminators here. They were here, we picked them up, and they moved off 20. Back in flight mode now with the Storm Raven gunship. Terminators then have gone inside, so has the Sanguinary Priest, and so has the Chaplain as well. But got to be careful. Oh, it's a risk here because there's just 2 wounds remaining on this Storm Raven gunship. Sanguinors come out from behind the containers here, along with the Stern Guard veterans. This is it. We are. Yeah. He's not come out from hiding. He's just come out from his ambush position, and then the Stern Guard veterans accompanying him as well. So for Sanguinius is the cry that's made as the Blood Angels prepare to charge in once again. Melee continues here with the Sergeant versus the Sergeant. So that is it. The movement phase complete. No psychic phase, straight into shooting now for the Blood Angels on turn 4. So, Stormbolter. I'm going to try and finish this guy off. The rest of the shots, by the way, will go into the bikers. So we do get 2 hits. Do get 2 wounds, and Brian gets +1 cover, so he's 2 saves of 5+. So try and pick off the annoying squad leader there. No, okay, fouls 1. That's enough to remove him from play, so he's gone. I thought we had to shoot him. If Brian charged him in and silenced that tank, could have caused trouble, so we needed to get rid of him, so he's gone. The rest of the shots now are put into the bikers. Heavy bolters in 4s. 2 wounds come through at -1, so 2 saves of 4+. These are 2 wounds each. Does foul 1 though, so 1 wound comes through. And then twin assault cannon next. In 4s. And not as effective when they move. And then 3s to wound. 2 wounds come through. Again at -1. No, okay, so 1 bike has been brought down by the Predator. The Bow Predator just there. Stern Guard veterans will fire 10 shots. In 3s. Now, hang on a second. There may be rerolls available here for the Sanguinor being nearby. We'll just check his rules. Yeah, and he just grants +1 attack. So if they charge, there'll be a nice bonus for them, but no rerolls for shooting. Yeah, that's the heirs of Ascalion rule, but they've all died, so I'm not going to get to use that. So that means we've got 3 misses. 5s to wound, but if any of these come through, it is minus. 5 wounds come through from the Stern Guard here. Brian needs to make 5 saves of 5+. Here, that was decent there from the Stern Guard. So 5+ we're looking for. 4 have failed. That's 2 more bikers brought down. That's pretty significant. We'll chuck a crack grenade in as well from the Sanguinor. Misses, and no reroll available for him. So that is the grenade. God, it's painful. Oh, he's lost one of the melters there. Squad's been reduced down quite significantly. We've got the Storm Raven to fire. It'd be on 5+ to hit with its lower ballistic skill. Choice of... I think we should fire across here. So that's what we'll go. We'll go after Terminators now. So melter shots, 5s, nothing. Las cannon shots, 1 hit. 2s to wound, does wound. So it's down to an invuln save. She fouls, it's d6 damage, 4. So 1 model can go. And then the rockets, 2 4s. No, not enough. Needing 5s to hit. But 1 Terminator gone, that does help the Blood Angels to some degree. We then have the Dreadnought across the other side. 2d6, 7. It may well be enough to wipe these out here. I think there's 6 left. 2s, all of them except 1. So that's 6 dead. Bryan does have cover though, so 6 saves of 6+. Yeah, because he's tucked in the bushes just in that corner. Save 2, which may well be enough to keep the squad alive. There's 4 casualties. One alive. Okay, is the last one within range of the melter? 12-inch.
Yeah.
Yep, okay, so we might well be able to pulverise him with a melter here. Now, hang on a second, we advanced. It is an assault weapon, yeah. It's a 4+ to hit with this. No, it misses. Okay, so 1 does remain alive, but may well melt away with morale. We reckon shooting. No, we've got a pistol here we can fire. Does hit. Doesn't wound. Okay, so that's the pistol fire coming from there. Shooting phase finished. Not too bad for the Blood Angels. They've caused trouble here for the bikers. The cultists as well have been blasted to pieces by that frag cannon, and even one of the Terminators brought down as well. We're going to assaults now. Charges and Overwatch to resolve next. Okay, so assaults have taken place. We charged the Stern Guard veterans in first. They took no damage on Overwatch, and the Sanguinors charged in as well. And then the Dreadnought tried to charge and has failed to reach the last Chaos Cultist in that corner. The melee continues just down here. So the game's breaking down now into smaller fights as both sides try and pick up as many points as they can. So we'll get this combat resolved. Here, we'll do the charges first of all. So fight the Sanguinor here. He has 5 attacks. Then, with interpretation rules, we do believe he benefits from his own 6-inch bonus bubble, which is an extra attack. Just there. He'll be on 2s to hit, no rerolls. There's 2 misses. And then he'll be on 3s to wound, strength 6, toughness 5, with the Uncarmine sword, and then red first, +1 to wound, so 2s to wound here. They all wound coming through. Just check the rules there. It's AP -4. It's horrendous, and it's D3 at times. We'll roll these 1 at a time. Yeah, I don't think it's making much difference. 3, but that kills a whole model. There's 3 wounds come through, and then the rest is long gone. Okay, so they're gone. But that's the Sanguinor there. Good for mopping up models like bikers there. He's made his impact just there. So that's his combat finished. We're not going to consolidate with him towards the nearest enemy units or nearest enemy model, and then these, no combat for them, is just going to remain stationary where they are. So pick a combat, which is this one. Sergeant fighting, 2 1s and a 6. 1 wound does come through though, 1 save of 3+. Oh boy, let's just see if this Sergeant survives. A bit of pride here, this mini fight.
Yes.
Take that as a save, yeah. Rolled a 6. And then you can fight back now with your Sergeant.
Calm down.
Come on, here he comes. Oh, 2 1s and a 4 is almost the same result here. Will he force a wound? No. Oh, it's just a fight right to the end between these two. Okay, so that's it. Alright, so turn finished. Blood Angels mopping up pretty good, but still tough Terminator squad here, and 2 characters still alive. Alright, so turn finished. Morale's been rolled up there, and the cultist has gone. He's fouled morale, and the Dreadnought has finished mopping up this area. Will hold line breaker and has cleared out all of the Night Lords from this sector. So they've lost their deployment zone. Blood Angels deployment zone seriously compromised here with these Terminators here. Terminator Chaos Lord and the Sorcerer still alive. We'll see what Bryan decides to do with those units now. Pressure building up on them. Blood Angels looking stronger now. Their forces are beginning to unite. Remember, there's Terminators inside here. Sanguinary Priest. and the chaplain as well. So a number of units available here as the Blood Angels try and flush out the Night Lords from the area. We'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Night Lords. So we're on turn 4 here. There's tough choices to be made. You can't run off. You can't run away. I don't think that's an option.
Not going to run away.
Not going to run away. Been aggressive from both sides. But who to go after is the question. The Stern Guard have formed a screen here trying to protect the Sanguinor. He does have those melters to call upon, deadly against vehicles, so the flyer could well be under threat. But it's hard choices to make. Combat, there's some distance away, but may well be able to stretch and reach into combat as well. It's difficult choices to be made here. How best to go about this. If Bryan messes up, the Blood Angels could take full advantage of that, and clear them out. So there's got to be some kind of impact needs to be made here as the Night Lords desperately fight on. Okay, so movement phase complete here. Blood Angels look strong on the table. Remember, this model could easily be removed. There's only 2 wounds left. Predators suffered damage here. Sanguinor's in a sorry state as well. So Blood Angels, it could go terribly wrong for them. All depends on how well this Terminator unit and these characters do for the Night Lords. They have moved across. Steady advance from them. We'll see where Bryan decides to shoot with those. And then the melee continues here. So psychic phase now with the Sorcerer here next. Right, so Prescience here does go off, okay. And then Smite. Stern Guard, yes. Right, Stern Guard here, potentially going to be smitten.
No.
5, yeah, no, 5 it is, yeah. 5 you need. And Force 2, ouch, there's 2 of them gone. So there's 2 of those removed, and there'll be a potential morale test for them to make as well. Okay, so Psychic phase is done. Bryan's going to line up shooting next. Okay. 6 is a hit. Yeah, this is Plasma coming through.
1 for strength.
Okay, so...
Determine to cut him up.
Oh, right, that was here. Sorry, yeah. Plasma Pistol fouled there. Okay. Right, choices then. There's combi melters to call upon here. Prescience as well. Just mark it with this marker. They're on +1 to hit. That's helpful for those. Doesn't have to fire all the melters at the same target. You could split them at different...
Melted on the flyer.
He's trying to clear the Stern Guard out of the way. Oh boy, tough choices.
Into the Stern Guard.
Right, okay. This melter here is going to go into the Storm Raven. The other 3 are going into there.
So 4 up.
No, he's already dreaded 1. He has no command points left. Reroll 1s because the Chaos Lord. Yes, or remembered. It's a 2 though. Oh, dear. Oh boy. And then here.
3 other fellows.
Yeah. Now they need 2s.
Yeah.
Rerolling 1s. Oh, 2s to kill. To try and keep the Stern Guard alive as 1 has failed. 2 go through, it's -4, so we lost another 2. We'll drop those 2. Now we've lost 4, but still the Sanguinor isn't the closest model. 1 Stern Guard defiantly remains alive, trying to protect the beloved Sanguinor. Combi Bolter next to try and finish off the lone Stern Guard here. 1 hit comes through, reroll 1s, yeah. 2 hits, falls to wound. 1 wound. Failed. That's another kill point. We've got rerolls available. Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm going to use a command point here. I've got 1 left after this. We'll try and regain it here. Veritas Vitae. No. And then the reroll. Yes, we pass. So we've kept him alive, rerolling his power armor save. So that shooting phase finished. Not too bad. Stern Guard veteran is being brought down, but the Storm Raven remains alive. That's pretty crucial there. We'll go on to combats next. We'll see where Bryan decides to assault if he can. It's some distance to cover. Okay, right. This is it. Bryan is... He said no, and then he said yes, he is going to charge. The Terminators are the only unit that can make it in. They can charge, and if they roll high enough, he's going to target both. Primary target here, secondary the Sanguinor. Bryan stands a much better chance if he goes first. You need very, very good roll, though. We'll let him roll up here. 10 at least to reach the Stern Guard Sergeant. Oh.
No more merit.
2 and a 1. They do not wish to advance. All right, so... Combat, yes, continues on. Sergeant Bryan gets to go first here. They've all hit. Force to wound. Surely one of these models will be brought down.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. This could be it. Oh, he's definitely gone. Well done. So another kill point picked up here. Sternguard. Sergeant destroyed. Bryan can advance. Consolidate 3 inches. Yeah, 3 inches. Just tuck him into there. That's combat's resolved. Another point picked up there for the Night Lord. So well done. Another point. It will be a close game, I reckon. Points scored highly for both sides. We'll now go on to the 5th. This could be possibly the final turn of the game. 5th turn coming up next for the Blood Angels. Oh dear me, what a conclusion to this game. We feel it could be concluded here. Blood Angels, this is it. This is the final. Stop. Hold it right there. We will administer medical attention to him. D3 lost wounds here. Come on. Oh, yes. Back we go. Fresh as a daisy here with the Sanguinor. Thanks to the Sanguinary Priest. You're good to go. Back out to the fight. All right. So Terminators here, they've deployed, and then the just getting ready to converge in with a charge. Then here and here, these have moved up. The Sanguinor himself has moved up as well. We've moved over the top here with the flyer, the Storm Raven. Closest target now is the Terminator Lord. And then holding position here with the Bow Predator, getting ready to lend some fire support. We've moved across here, past Morale, by the way, on a reroll for Nation No Fear, with the lone Sergeant there for the Sternguard Veterans. He's moved across, getting ready to try and finish off the Sergeant just there. So that is movement done. Dreadnought's turned. He's moved slowly up, but he's happy to hold position there just to gain line breaker for the Blood Angels. That's movement done. On to shooting phase for them next. So we'll start with the Storm Raven. Everything into him. The closest model is the Terminator Lord. So 2 rockets will fire at him. 1 hit comes through. 2's for a wound. Yes, wounds on 3. So Invuln save. Yeah, 4+. That's a 4. Yeah, passed. Okay. Melters. Oh, 2 hits. Just sense that the Blood Angels might be alright. Oh, 2 wounds come through. Got to pass these. Fouled with 1. No rerolls of.
No PM. Warlord trait.
So there is a Warlord trait that gives him 6's ignore. Alright, okay, yeah. So what we'll do is a roll out damage first of all. Roll 2 dice, choose the best. Oh, 2. 2 wounds. Hold it right there. Sorry. Sorry to shout. Roll the last command point. Just really want to score highly. It rolled a 6. Oh dear. Right, so 6 dice, trying to ignore wounds. Is it 6's or 5's? 6's, right. 6 dice needing 6's. That's my last stratagem used up there, by the way. None. Is that? None. He's gone then? 1 wound. Oh, yeah, 7.
Yeah, it gives him plus. Well.
Oh, check this.
The Terminator Lord should be 6, and only 40K gives him
an extra 1. Okay, we'll check it. His life hangs. Yeah, on the turn of a page here.
6.
Whilst Bryan checks that, I'm going to roll Veritas Vitae here.
Yeah,
that's a 3. No, he failed. So all of our command points have used up. Bryan's just checked. He does have a wound remaining. 7 wounds. It's a nice amount of wounds for him. But he's gravely, gravely wounded here. His life hangs. Oh, knife edge. All right, so 6 wounds taken. 1 wound remains. And we've still got 2 last cannon shots to fire at you anyway. 5s. There's the hit. There's the wound. You have to pass this Invuln save. There's no re-rolls available. It's half a chance. No, he's gone. He's gone. It's D6, so he's gone. Oh no, 6s, isn't it? We've scored 4. So there's 4 6s. No. Okay, so he has gone. So the Terminator Lord, it took a lot of effort, but he has gone. Okay, so it's grenade time. 1, 2, 3 grenades we're going to lob in. So this one hits, fails to wound. The Chaplain has grenades. He misses, and the Sanguinary Priest misses as well. So, yeah, there's no rerolls. Just thinking about if there's any rerolls or not. Terminators have nothing to fire. We'll try and pick off the Sergeant with him. 1 shot. Missed, and that is it. So Bow Predator now going to try and lend some fire support. Going to try and soften up these Terminators as much as we can. So we have heavy bolters, needing 3s. Needing 3s to wound, yes. So 3 saves are 3+. We're going to give Brian 2+, just for the cover, the barrels and so on, but 1 has failed, so 1 wound taken. This is the twin assault cannon. Needing freeze, actually. 3's to wound. Yep, 5 saves of 2+. Just that cover causing trouble. We're just counting the barrels here in the building. For cover, another 2 1s rolled those. That's 3 1s taken. So yeah, 1 gone. Yeah, I thought Brian would remove it from that end. Just going to make things more difficult for the Terminators. And then Stormbolter, 2 shots. Missed. And we reckon that is the firepower complete here. Shooting phase finished, the Blood Angels. But not bad. Terminator brought down, another 1 wounded. And the Chaos Terminator Lord destroyed as well. Okay, so our assaults here then. We'll charge the Terminators first of all. So Brian's going to get some Overwatch from them with melter shots. You may as well use the combi. Yeah, may as well fire the whole lot. So 3 shots with melters, needing 6s. These are the nasty hits that could come through here. There's 4 Terminators left.
So the melters.
Oh no, 2 6s and a fist pump. 2's to wound after. Right, 3+ invuln saves here, or there's trouble. Oh, 1 gets through. It's D6 damage. 2, that's enough. Yeah, so we've got to take the guy from the back. Well, don't have to, but I'm going to choose to take him. That's not so good though. Lost 1 of them, and then combi bolter shots now.
6 shots.
1, okay, and then 4's to wound. Does wound. 2 up save. Passed that one. Alright, so now try and charge the Terminators. On a good roll. 9. Wow, we'll check this out here. Okay, so they've made it in, rolled 9 nicely into combat just there. We've now declared a charge. Brian's Mr. Overwatch, the Sanguinor going after the Sorcerer just there. So we'll roll our charge. Come on. 7. I'd imagine that's going to be fine swinging around there. We do have to keep an inch away from other models. We'll check this out here. Yes, charge is complete here. So the Sanguinor made it in. You had to skirt around, keep it legal. You had to go all the way around, staying an inch away, measuring up, and just tucked in there again, staying an inch away from him. So we've done that. That's 7 inches. Pretty much we needed 6 or 7 to do that. Just the extra distance required there for swinging round. So Sanguinor's gone around there. Chaplain's joined the combat. Rolled a 6 here, which wasn't quite enough for the Sanguinary Priest to make it into combat. But Blood Angels, we'll be happy with that. A good number of those models have made it in. And we'll see how much damage now they can do. Yeah, so we'll start with the Thunderhammer Terminators here. Sergeant in there for your attacks, and the others on 2 attacks. Oh, hold it right there. The Sanguinor blesses those who are near. We'll just check here to see if they're within 6 inches. Yes, there's a number of blessings going on here. So he's granting +1 strength, he's granting rerolls, and then he's granting +1 attack here. So the Terminators have a very, very happy mood here. So 4's to hit. God, the Chaplain. He will be greatly appreciated here. Oh yes, that helps out. It really does help. So 6 wounds to come through. Strength 5 with his help, and then doubled his strength 10. So 2's to wound here. They all wound. So down to invuln saves here, it's -3, and the damage of 3 as well. So invuln saves on Terminators 5+ at least.
Yeah.
Yep, and then 6 saves of 5+. There's trouble here for them. No, they're gone, and it's 3 damage a time. So the Terminators can be removed. Yeah, that could be the killing blow here, and a kill point. Yes, no, they've gone. All right, so oh dear, and then so the Chaplain declared his charge against them. So we'll just leave him where he is. He no longer has a combat. So now it's the Sanguinor fighting against the Sorcerer here. The one who hit him with a demon shell. Yeah, so what a way to finish. 6 attacks, including the bonus. 2's to hit. 2 misses. The Chaplain, yes. Thank you, Brian. 2 hits. Yeah, the Chaplain helping out. It seems to be, for Blood Angels, using multiple characters to grant bonuses seems to really help. We're on strength 6. So 3's to wound. Becomes 2's to wound for Red first. They've all wounded. It's -4 on the save. So 4+ Invon save. 6 saves, yeah. Oh no, 4 of them get through. 4d3 damage. This could be it. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he's gone. So the the last vengeance here does belong to the Blood Angels in this game. They've converged at this point, and in a frenzy of blood and gore, they have reaped their revenge here against the Night Lords. What a way to finish. Okay, so we reckon the game is over here. All that remains is the one Raptor Sergeant just there, and then that is all that's left. It's been a scene of carnage here on both sides. Both sides have taken heavy casualties. The Blood Angels have prevailed here. Game could have gone either way, though. Night Lords recovered well immediately on their first turn, and then a devastating ambush is taking place down here, rattled the Blood Angels. Then Blood Angels out of shape for a while at the other end of the table, but thanks to the Storm Raven transporting the Terminators and these HQs across the board, we saw the Night Lords cleared out at this end of the table as well. So Blood Angels sent in to flush out the Night Lords, and really they have accomplished that mission. We'll check the score now. We'll get a final score here at the end of the game. Yeah, so we've got a final score here. It's interesting results. 17 points to the Blood Angels. They destroyed 14 units out of 15. First Blood was scored. Line Breaker was secured as well by the Dreadnought, and then Slay the Warlord as well. So 17 in total for them. A pretty impressive score. And then for the Night Lords, see, the Blood Angels managed to keep a number of units alive. Like the Storm Ravens kept alive, these characters have remained alive. So all these points denied to the Night Lords. And look, the one Sergeant here kept alive as well. So their kills were the Death Company were destroyed, Stern Guard, and then the Sanguinary Guard wiped out. Also this tank here, the Predator Annihilator, was destroyed. That's 4 points. And then defiantly securing Line Breaker here as well with the lone Sergeant from that squad. So that is 5 points, 17-5 the final score. So just the scoreline on paperwork sounds deadly here, but it has been a pretty even exchange with in the game. But Blood Angels, they have cleared out the area pretty good. Fascinating game note. We love the way the game has gone from one end of the board to the next. There's been battles in virtually every corner of the table. It's great to see the Blood Angels on the aggressive. I think that paid off for them in this game. Their attack that came in here against the Predators, pretty decisive. And then we saw the counter-attack here by the deep striking forces from the Night Lords. Pretty devastating, caused trouble here for the Blood Angels. But then they pulled themselves together, kept their calm, and then launched their assault, not piecemeal, but they converged together at the right time. And it was enough to cause the wipeout here against the Terminators and the characters. So that's it. Just discussing the game. It's been great fun. Nice backdrop for this one as well. I've enjoyed using this terrain. Hope to see it again in future games. But in this sector, in this Imperial compound that's been bombed out, the Night Lords have moved in. The Blood Angels were sent to intercept them, and they accomplished their mission and have flushed them out of the area. Thanks very much to Bryan Morrow for coming down. Great to see his army being used. Fantastic army that it is. Very nicely painted indeed. Great to see some new units. And after this game, no doubt he'll swear his revenge specifically against the Blood Angels. Maybe we'll see this clash take place in future. Oh yeah, he agrees. Maybe we'll see it happen. A serious grudge match in the future. Blood Angels developing along pretty good. That's a nice sign of hope for them with that Codex. It seems to work quite well for them, as I'm working on some new units to finish them off to their current list. If you want to see the new list and see the Blood Angels as they develop, check out the Plus channel. You can see their army development on there. But there it is. Great game. Keep a lookout for more Challenger Scorpion games on the channel. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Alright, so we're discussing units of the game here. It's interesting choices to be made. For Blood Angels, do have to give an honourable mention here to the Dreadnought there, the Furioso Dreadnought, and especially the Frag Cannon. Deadly from him. the amount of shots coming through. Really good for mopping up the infantry over there. Then for the Blood Angels, Brian pointing out the Storm Raven gunship. Excellent transport and deadly firepower. We saw it scream up the table here and break that formation for the Predators, and then later on pick up the units and then transport them across the board to help secure victory at this end here for the Blood Angels. So I reckon we will give it to the Storm Raven. It did do particularly well in this game. Yeah, no, it was really good, and its firepower as well killed off the Warlord as well. We'll mention as well the Terminators linked in with the Chaplain. You saw the amount of rerolls there, him really helping them out. So that combination of Chaplain and Terminators carrying on from 7th worked well then, and it works well now here in 8th edition. Terminators previously, before that, they really struggled, but now with the Chaplain, they are pretty good. Brian, the Predators did okay. This one here was destroyed. The ones on the two sides there, they did start to cause a lot of damage, but then we didn't really get to see them in the later turns as they were destroyed in combat. Brian's going to give it to the Lone Sergeant here, or to this Raptor squad. It did endure for a long time in close combat, and in the end prevailed in this area, getting rid of the Death Company and also the Stern Guard as well. But there it is, that's units of the game for both sides.